Hello, comrades, and welcome back to another fine episode, I hope, of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We are here in Noye Revergrad, and I'm all discombobulated because just as I was starting up, I saw that our train that we tried to get into the right place didn't go to the right place, and now he's jamming up all of our workers going up to the steel. Urgh. Okay, so what I want to try to do is see if I can't send him back to the depot. I left time paused just for a second. This is a Saturday summary episode, so let's just see if we come over here. Will you go back there, please? I think he can make it back there. At least if we get him started back there, we can kind of turn him around. Yeah, can you turn around and go back there, please? Give it a shot anyway. Yep. Okay, so he'll start heading back to the depot. The problem that we were having, and this is probably as good a thing to talk about, is that we're not doing real well in the town up here because I don't think we're getting enough people. Now I kind of forget if I put, but like some of these people aren't very happy, and I'm thinking what's okay. You're going that way. Okay. So what we want to do, I think, with this guy is somehow, let's just give him bus platform 6 again. Sorry, this is sort of getting into more. This is platform 6. So we have 2 of those in a row, right? So this time I'm going to say, I want you to go to a waypoint here, and then let's highlight this waypoint. Right, and he's coming up here. Instead of trying to go, what happened was he tried to go to 6, which is the closest path somehow, and he decided to go in here and go into the opposite loop. So what I want him to do now is I want you to go to there next, right? And so when he gets out of here, yeah, hopefully he's heading up this way. All right. Well, I'm gonna just put him up here. It's a disappointing start to my Saturday summary, but that's okay. All right. So, how are we doing? Overall, we're doing pretty well, and we got rid of some more of our plus 21-year-olds. We haven't got it down to 0 yet, but we'll work on that. We need to get this guy fired back up properly, and I think we probably like this bus or this guy here. I don't want him going to the rail construction office. I want him to come to here and unload his bricks. And right in the middle of the game save. And wait. Because right now, they're jamming up this. So we can cancel that. Unload all your bricks and wait. Right. And then there might be another vehicle. Let's shrink something so we can see. Vehicles moving inside. This is the bus. That's fine to go there. Lumber. Yeah, so we might as well do the same thing. And I think, and then the only other thing would be the prefabs. Yeah, here, you know what? The prefab guy, lumber guy can sit in there, I guess. Let's get this guy, since because he's already waiting, so we might as well fix this one. Unload. Wait. Prefab panels. Delete. Caught him right at the perfect time, right? He's waiting on the train, but he'll go in there. Very good. Yeah, so I think that, yeah, so we have the cistern and the lumber open haul waiting in there, and that's fine because then we'll have 4 vehicles that will be waiting in this station, so that's good. So we should be pretty good for materials. And what is this guy doing? Oh, the bridge. He is working on building a new line into here. So this is our new Bricksville. So he's going to just start helping building this line, I guess, to get started. And then we have another rail construction office that I planned over here. I kind of forget what I did in the last Saturday summary. So if you're interested in all of Bricksville, I would recommend you go back and watch those videos. It's going to be a town of 8,000 people, I think, and I hope, with 5, 6 coal mines up here and ore processing that we haven't even designed yet. And is this guy, yeah, this guy's building these roads into a new There'll be a construction office here and, you know, some basic supplies. So we'll run those over to here from NR Neuve Revergrad distribution over there. And this guy is working on building a bit of a town over here so that at least we have like a starter town, because the bigger problem isn't so much supplies, it's getting people. The closest people are all the way over by Neuve Revergrad. They're in Neuve Revergrad there. So once we get this built up, we can start building rails over here a little more efficiently. And I do have a, what do you call it, gravel unloading and rail cargo station I jammed in there as well. And like I said, this will be part of the town that eventually sends people to, I forget what, right? Some of these rails are construction ones, but this rail loop here, yeah, I forget exactly where. I think this rail loop, they'll send people to someplace. Oh, yeah, the ore thing. Now, I don't know exactly how many people we'll need, so this stop here might be a little bit limited, but we can always try to put a few more houses in here. And eventually, when the rail construction's done, I was thinking I can even get rid of some of this. And the general idea of this town, I really like it. I hope it works out well, is we have this trolley loop all the way around here. And I don't think the trolleys are actually going to drive around in a loop, but they'll probably drive up and down both sides. So the people that live out here can go to shopping that's kind of in this area, right? So what I like about it is if we had to make it bigger, I mean, you could do this design and just keep going bigger. Maybe you'd have to put in more shopping. Oh, that's not shopping up there. This is the shopping down here. And a university. Now, I did get a comment to say this university might not be enough for all these people. One, we'll see. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I don't need all of these people to be college educated. I just need enough. I need like 50 of them, enough to do the hospital and the high schools at that point. So I don't mind having the university, but it's far from critical. Over here we have bricks. So we only have 2 brick factories for all of this, and the name Bricksville is sort of a misleading name in some ways, but we have, could almost be Powerville. We got 4 power plants, which is why I'm over here building this, is because I think we're, you know, struggling on power a little bit. Let's jump back over to here and see. Well, we're not producing. I mean, this number would be higher, you know, if we were actually having power problems. Yeah, this number is a lot higher on this one, and there's certainly balancing issues as far as that goes. But what I'm concerned about is these power plants having enough power to do more of our steel mills. So one of the reasons, you know, I'm kind of hesitant is because we haven't really fired up the steel mills, and we did get a Communist Party headquarters. So we now have, you know, people coming over here to work, even though I don't see any students. And I think you guys can correct me. I was kind of a little bit of I watched a bit of my own video and said, which I don't always watch the whole thing, but I did catch this part. This is, you know, I think just like a university, effectively. So we don't have any students waiting there. That's kind of a mess, but we'll see. It's more there for decoration, to be honest. So having completed that, let's see, what are we doing here? I put this guy on auto search footpaths, and he's not, so let me take him back off of that. And I'm thinking, you know what, let's build a radio station, or no, what is this? Television station. Yeah, we don't have a television station yet. So why not? We're getting to that point where, why not? And part of the reason is because I don't really have that much for these construction offices to do until I'm going to move some people over there to Bricksville, but there's just not really that much for everybody to do, which means that we're going to get designing. I don't know if we're going to do our prefab cement first, or if we should probably want to do the oil field first. So, and plastic tin. And then, just so you guys know, it's a bit of a warning for our Saturday summary. Oh, and then we're going to do some mechanical components over here. And that's it. That's my plans for the map. So we got this to design and build. You know, we've already got kind of a massive thing going on over there, and as far as Bricksville goes. But this won't be This will be an expansion of Tagliati here, and then busing, or however we want to get the people up. Not buses, probably trains or trolleys. I want to see how the trolleys do in our Moscow, if you guys have watched the series. Because if the trolleys do better than the buses, which they theoretically could or should, now maybe we just do trams, which again, I don't agree with the way the game uses the word trams, but hey, whatever. You know, so this won't be too big of a project, really. Just, I don't know, maybe we put 4 mechanical components because we can. We have this, and the steel, just so you know, in the grand design of things, you know, we have steel that needs to come out and can come down here and can feed into there quite easily, right? So we could have just a train maybe to one of these 4 steel mills to come over there. And then plastic tin, yeah, oil is right here. So this might be like chem plastic tin, just in case we need a few more chemicals than these guys can provide. So, but we'll see. These guys are churning out the chemicals. I don't really know. We'll take a look maybe before the episode, see how our economy's doing. Just wanted to kind of summarize the construction for the moment and the plans. That's the idea of this. Yes, enough buses. I definitely wanted to get over here. Definitely made enough buses. So let us wait until this guy is done with this bus. I'll shrink this up. How is our... Yep, so he needs to restart. So let's delete this one and say start and go to that waypoint. We're going to have to keep an eye on this guy when he gets past these waypoints because I don't want him coming out of here to, you know what I mean? Like if he gets down to this stop, if we wait too long. So I'll probably just leave this open. I hope that's not too annoying. And in light of this, let's get some buses out of here. And do we have much room? Yeah, we have a bit of room. Hit escape. And then maybe what I'll do, let's send, since we're traveling around anyway, let's send the other 4 to our centralized depots. And then, yeah, like these are kind of like a little more centralized to where people are at. I think what I want to do is open halls, or I mean covered halls. I'm going to try to say halls because that is the word. Yeah, so let's close that. And the reason is that we'll need a number more of them to get the clothing thing going. All right, so how are we doing here? Not quite done yet. Buses take a good while. Like the number of labor hours is a bit higher than other things, I think. So, yeah, so we'll just wait on that because that's not done. And then this locomotive, we're keeping an eye on that. It'll take them a little while to get to that first waypoint, I think. So we have clothing, just kind of continuing our typical counterclockwise thing around here. And let's see, how many people do we need? Like this is 80, and that's going to be 4 of those. And that, I think, has its own, well, it sort of kind of all depends. This is not part, this is the passenger thing here. Yeah, and these people, I don't really have footpaths, do I? I mean, this is footpathy roads, but this isn't footpathy roads even. So why do I have that train stop there? This one's pretty clearly going to here. I think it's just to go to this one. Because it would be, I mean, they have a footpathy road around here, and will they be able to get there? No, see that? So I really kind of need a footpath. This is why we check these things. Can I just do... You know, that's not... All right, and we'll commit to that. And then we still have a construction office here as much as anything because I'm expecting little problems like that. So they could send some people to there. Yeah, because they're not going to be able to reach from this one. And then this one, can they get to every... Well, they don't need to get to everywhere. They just need to get... So this one can do these two. Now the other thing is, because this is the other passenger one here. Yeah, I think I need to get people from there up to this other one. And this looks like the way to do that. So let's get our construction guy to do, how's this? Oh, let's switch over to covered halls. There we go. So we have another bus in there we'll have to get out eventually. And this guy can do, oh no, he can't do that one until the other one's done. Oh, why don't we sign this as well? There we go. All right, so that guy will go to there. So there's that train stop, and then we have this train stop that will get to these two. This train, and we could probably even start specifying, right? So then you, just so we kind of remember what we planned. And then you might not be allowed to be assigned now. Yeah, so we'll hold off on that one. So there we go. So we'll get people in that way. Fabric and or clothing can come out of either one of these train stops here, because these are clothing factories. And then fabric will come out of this one. So these are our fabric plants. We got 6 fabric plants. And yeah, I think this guy, yeah, see, this guy can service all of the fabric plants at that point. Plus he can do this 5 of the fabric plants. So that's quite a few people coming in here. But that's all right. We'll just have to balance it out as best we can. And then this is kind of, it's not a completely separate loop, but it's, if you look, they head off this way, come around. They do cut through this, or no, they don't even cut through that. They just go right around and back out. So it's sort of, you know, we can kind of intensely put as many as we can on here. Hopefully that we won't have too many issues. I'm sure it'll work out, even if we don't have 100% efficiency. So anyway, from here, we're going to take by truck and bring fabric to these 2 warehouses. Any excess fabric can go up to here and then be sent to the auto supply. And by the way, we can just as easily send a truck right to here to unload its fabric, right? So it's not necessarily my plan, but you know, we can definitely do that. Send, just to make sure we have enough fabric for our autos, which I don't think is, it's not a terrible amount. Probably use more for clothing. And then as far as that goes, we have chemicals coming in here by train and corn. So we'll have to get that fired up in probably the next episode. I was almost hoping to do it today, but we'll do the Saturday summary like we should, and then we'll get this fired up and work out some of the bugs and issues. Now these guys over here are working on our rail loop around, right? So they're doing pretty well, I think. And then just so you know, I think we got Tagliotti properly fired up. I never really, no, something went wrong. Oh, yeah, what's going on here? Are you guys just not assigned to anything? I don't know why they, well, this one makes sense as to why he quit, but if we come in here and look, so he went up to there and turned around. I don't know why this guy didn't keep doing this one, but then we'll get him heading here. Good, glad I checked that. So they're going to start building this. And what this is going to do for us is let us do a little bit better of a supply loop where they don't have to cut through here, because this is just sort of a busy train trafficy area. And in addition, it's just really sort of irritating me in a sense that we have to come up here and then backtrack. So it'll be a little bit more of an actual loop if this guy can go around here and feed into Revergrad distribution and then head over to GW, or obviously the reverse would work. What are we doing here? We are having a jam. Why are we having a jam? Are you feeding back on yourself? Yes, you probably, well, I don't know where you would be. I mean, the signal ahead of you is green. I don't know why this one would be red. You know what? We probably don't have enough signaling in here for sure. Yeah, let's Let's see if we can't straighten this out relatively easily. So this would need, yeah, see, I was probably hesitating to put too much signaling in here. Yeah, this is a chain in, and this, in my opinion, should be a chain in. And then this should be a chain in. See how it just made that green? So it's feeding back a red signal some goofy way. But then this should be a regular out, and this should be a regular out. So that kind of makes this one big massive intersection, which isn't ideal, but... And then this could probably be, yeah, just two-way here, two-way here, get rid of this one. So a train could sit in there in theory if he was trying to turn around. Though this was really more done for construction. I might as well leave it there just in case Crazy Joe, the conductor, decides to go his own way. All right, so what do we got? Yeah, now we just have a mess. Yeah, you know what? I think we're doing okay with coming in and out of here. Oh, and I did get a comment that I'm not ignoring of... I'll have to keep considering that. And this guy, let me delete this waypoint, and we'll go check on this guy real quick in a second. I want to delete... This is just slowing it down worse because these are like kind of combined. All right, so we're going to get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of this, and that. See, now this track will be separate from the other one. This does not need to be... That does not need to be a chain anymore. And that wasn't a chain. So this one's red. Why is that one red? That shouldn't be red. See how I just changed that back to green by putting that other one down? No. Okay, it's red because he's in there. Okay. There's always something. Let's go check this guy out. Make sure he's... Okay, so we got a signaling issue. Where are you? So you can't find your way. You're going to come down this track. Ah, okay. Well, you know what? I think it's worth... We're just going to come in here real quick and we're just going to purchase that. And then, oh, it needs to be electrified. And we'll purchase that. That's one of the reasons he went in the way he did. Not that he would have gone the right way anyway, but let's see what happens when he gets to this signal. No. Oh, wait. Now we might have a signaling, kind of a one-way problem, I bet. All right, are you coming in? Yeah, you want to come in here. Let's go to signals. Yeah, this needs to be... Right. I don't know if I shouldn't just make those regular signals, but... This would be a chain, but we'll just leave it as a two-way chain. I don't think anybody will leave there. No, they wouldn't leave there once they got in. So is this guy... Was that enough? Come on, be enough. No. Okay. All right, let's turn this on. It's a little easier to see, especially... So he's coming up here. There's no reason he can't come up here. Can't come up here. Can come up here. He should be able to switch over here and come into here. And this is a two-way. And that's a one-way. And then let's just give him another. Yeah, you know what? Come to here. Oops. Come to here. Let's delete this one. Tell him we want him to go to this waypoint. We'll delete this one. So he should try to come to here. Do we not have? Do we have not all electrical track here? That might be it. No, that's electrical. This is electrified. We just did it. Yeah, what is your... Well, let's do this. Let's... Can you go to here? Let's see. What are you doing? Go past... What, like, they need to get to that next signal, I've learned, in order to... There we go. All right, this is getting away from a Saturday summary thing here, isn't it? But most people are interested in the signaling. I'm sure I got something. Oh, and there was another one-way signal that somebody said was messing up down by Neuve Revergrad. So we'll go... All right, so this is two-way. Again, let's put our signaling on. All right, so if he can get to wherever I just told him to here, onto that bridge, there certainly shouldn't be any reason he can't come there, go through here, come here, all right, and then here, and then he should be able to go right around here to get to 6. Unless he's... Okay. Are you coming the right way this time? Let's get rid of this waypoint since he's past it. Yeah, he didn't... I'm not... You see, I didn't really change any signal... where are you going, buddy? No. Where are you going? Really? You're... No. All right, we're going to work that out some other time. I have something going on that I don't really understand. And yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he have gone in there? There's got to be something that I'm missing, like some little bit of track that's not electrified, or did I electrify this whole thing? Yeah, well, it's not letting me do it again. I mean... You know, that all looks electrified into here. I mean, one thing I could do is try to take off some of the signaling, but I don't know why he wouldn't just go around this way. All these other trains are going around. Is it because is he getting confused by the train stops? Like, should I send him to this train stop first? I don't know. Well, I'll work it out. If I might do it in the next episode. I might do it between episodes just because it's getting frustrating, and I don't know. It's not making a lot of sense what he's trying to do. I've had a lot of problems getting those trains into those loops at times. But anyway, let's go back. Where were we? We're kind of doing the clothing, and so we're saying, yep, we're ready to go. Get those footpaths done, and we'll truly be ready to go. And after that, we'll get people from Neuve Revergrad. Oh, and you know what we can do? We can get rid of these buses. Let's see, how many... All right, these guys are taking people to the meat factory over here, and we built a new meat factory. So let's go up to our centralized depots, or more centered depots. Where am I at? Yep, over this way. Over here. There. We got a few buses in here already, so we'll get a few. All right, and I'm just going to close this locomotive and ignore him for the rest of the day. We'll survive without him. We've been going years probably without that issue. So there we go. So we're going over from Revergrad. We did build, and I'm pretty sure we completed that this week, these 3 houses. And so now, if we take a look at our pollution monitoring, all of our houses should be pretty much out of the pollution. And we're doing a little bit of a test over here to make sure that this power power plant stays with plenty of workers if we get enough cars over here. So we have a large parking lot here. Can we assign these people to go? Yeah, so you can't really assign them to go. I guess they have to just decide on their own like they would go to work. It would be kind of nice, though, if you could at least tell the people that are in this lot that this is the lot for this building, right? But anyway, and I'm not sure what all this reserved P parking, residential parking reservation. So is this people that like own cars here that maybe I could probably look at the details. Can we? And what does this X mean over their heads? Yeah, no, so if I double click on that, yeah, passengers in this vehicle. It doesn't really. Is this the owner of it? Yeah, so it doesn't. I don't know. But anyway, the point is this is, well, there we go down to 9, right? So, and this is sort of, when we only have 3 power plants on the whole map, this one not getting consistent workers is an issue, especially because it's more centralized. So I think it's, this has taken up a lot of the power and probably a reason not to fire everything up. And we'll end up getting our power plants in Bricksville over there going before we go too far with this. So we'll see. This is kind of depressing because every time I've looked over here, it's been pretty high. But I don't know how I would assign people to come to work here. Now, can these people walk there? No. See, and I don't think it's. Well, I could make it a little bit shorter, but I don't think there's any real way to get people close enough. We do have buses coming in there, so we'll see. But the buses are such a mess, as a general statement, as far as being able to keep them consistent. There we go. We're up to 14, so we'll see. All right, well, that's another issue we have for another day, but let's head over to Moscow. So, yeah, as far as like firing up more of Moscow, which is making our meat now. Oh, look, our train left. Yeah, where is our train? He's probably got a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, he's all the way up at Autograd distribution. And so we're kind of in need of, like it's going to take a little while. Like if we come to this MB distribution, let's head up here and look at what's in the refrigerator. How much do these refrigerators hold? Yeah, so this one's full, so he's going to have to take like a number of trips. But that's good, though. We're got meat out at an official thing. I was hoping to catch that, but that's what I get for doing a Saturday summary where I'm not right back over here focused on it. So let's see. How are we doing? Okay. So that's good because we're definitely going to have a lot of meat. So we're probably going to want more meat trains. Because we've only got part of this fired up over here. And again, we don't really have to fire it all up, right? It's not. I build these things because I can. And, if we don't, like our steel mills, it's been months or years of our steel mills not being fully fired up. Now, one thing I want to do in the next episode. So for those of you know, we got one. I'm kind of curious to see how many of these one farm would do. And we could export some meat, I guess. I don't think it's necessarily worth exporting that much, but it's not. Well, what does it cost these days? Meat. 40. If we were to sell it, we would get 48,000. Look at the prices; they're kind of crazy in 2023 that we're in. Steel is 30. Actually, you know what? It's really not bad to import. It's actually worth more than steel as far as an export goes. So yeah, maybe we will start exporting steel or meat. I guess I hadn't really thought about it being that expensive, but kind of want to see how things go, and we might even come over here and start taking some of the corn out of here and taking it over to sorry, I got distracted, to our clothing. And then we have these two that we can also kind of do the same thing. Now, I've shut off some of this production over here so that so that we just don't have, we're not really doing anything but exporting this vodka, because very few of these towns even have pubs anymore, because the pubs are evil. So we should have enough corn. Nah, see, we're still using every bit of corn. Unless we have a problem. And we only have one. Yeah, we're using all the corn from these farms. Yeah, well, I don't know what else to do about it. So that's pretty amazing how much corn these distilleries chew up. But we may just shut that off altogether in favor of clothing. But anyway, I want to keep moving. So there we go. So we have meat. And our livestock ranges are pumping them away. And we have Everdenisk is doing well with the parking spaces. Oh, one last thing to check. Oh yeah, look good. Our car dealer is now full of cars. So whoever wants a car over here can get a car. I wonder if the cars like wear out and you got to get new ones, or do people die and they lose their cars, or I don't know. Another thing we've done recently, and you may have missed if, is we put a university. So while we might still, this may be our agricultural technical university, right? We are busing people from Lumbriska and Kemsaw over into this university. So it sort of justifies keeping Farminski here, because it really, this bakery is no longer being used. As a matter of fact, yeah, I think even though we don't even have anything in there. All right, goodbye, bakery. You served us well. Probably didn't need to destroy that, but there it goes. Ba-boom. Okay, sad days. In a way. But it's progress, right? So in any event, we have Farminski over here. And let's just take a look. I've been clicking on here to see how many educated. Yeah, 76, 50. Yep, this is working like a champ. So busing the people this kind of distance, you really don't, if you have smaller towns in particular, is working out extremely well. Let's go check Lumbriska, which is slightly further away. Yep, 21, 20. So a few less, but more than we need over here, right? We don't need everyone to be college educated. I'm sure it's enough to keep teachers in the classroom, which is and the hospital. Yep, we got doctors in the hospital. And how are we doing on our trees over here? Yeah, we're really not. I kind of question what's going on with our lumber industry, but again, it's such a small use kind of item, and relatively speaking, the lumber is not that expensive. Probably, yeah, if you were going to skip one industry, it's my opinion is skipping the lumber industry probably won't have a great effect on your map if you weren't going to be totally self-sufficient. Other things are much more expensive and probably much better to do. So how are our chemicals doing? Are we running everywhere? Yeah. We have trucks at each one waiting to take chemicals over to this warehouse. And so this train is just doing that. Now, is there how many people? A fair number. I mean, we could try to, not too many in that one, 29 in that one, sort of hit or miss. Yeah, so we're making some chemicals. So one of the questions is do we really have enough chemicals? And right at this minute, it seems like maybe not. Right? I don't know, because we're going to need some chemicals for the clothing. And we need some chemicals over here, which are actually getting dropped off here. Yeah, now we're full of chemicals there. Then the other place we use the chemicals is in the plastic thing here. It's this one. And that one's kind of full too. So, okay, I think we're doing okay. But I also don't think, it's been a while since we checked out our electronics or even looked at it. And yeah, I don't see the train here. Yeah, see, we're not exporting the electronics, and I'm pretty sure we're not, electronics, and I'm pretty sure we're not. Yeah, we're not exporting the whatever you call these, electronics or electrical components. We're not exporting either one of those. And I think that's the reason we're not running out of chemicals, or at least in part. So, okay, so it's just the fact that that train isn't completely filled to the gills had me questioning that. But yeah, see, we're going to need a fair amount of chemicals here. And that's where I'm thinking with building this city of Plasticton. If we put some chemicals up here, we can feed them into this factory or this warehouse somehow. And kind of up the number of chemicals we have go into our electrical components and maybe start exporting electronics again. So there we go. All right, well, that's pretty much a loop. Oh, bread, let's see. This has been an issue. Okay, this guy's... See, I think that we could use more bread trains. So we have at times... Let's see, how's this one doing? See, this one's not full. I mean, both of them aren't full, but they have been at times when I've come over here. And yet at the same time, like if we do last month imports, food, 27, which isn't the end of the world, but it's like we don't have the best food distribution to everywhere we need it. You know, because we should be making enough food, and if we're not, then that's questionable too. But the good news is it looks like we have enough crops over here. And the one thing I would say is if you start having problems like I was, don't get too excited that you've got some massive problem. Like, let things settle down for quite a while. Because, you know, like you can have a problem just because of that traffic jam we had up earlier over there. And, you know, it just doesn't take that much to really mess up the works. So let's take a look at our economy from last month. What do we got? Yeah, we're buying clothes, but really not that many. Our biggest expense is power. Oh, you know what? So we're probably not having a lot of power problems because we spent $1 million. Well, that's not our biggest. Meat was our biggest expense, $6 million. Which really, when you think about our overall income and whatnot, this is not huge numbers. They may sound big to you, but these little things is probably where I bought something. So really, when you look, we got $17 million coming in from alcohol, chemicals, and bricks. Well, bricks is only, you know, really, the alcohol is not much either. Yeah, really the chemicals. Okay, so the reason that train was filling up is that's like all of our money. How about this year? And there we go. That's so in a month. So that gives you an idea of the cycle of my money. And you know, like for a whole month, in other words, we didn't even export anything but a little bit of the chemicals. So keep that in mind before you get, you know, it could take a while. So there's 80 million in chemicals for the year. Alcohol, 41 million. Bricks. Yeah, so we're doing a little bit in boards. See, that's what I was saying. I don't know how many boards. A fair number of boards, right? 424. And we only got 279,000 rubles for that. So compare that to less quantity of chemicals and we got 80 million. Not much comparison there. But, you know, again, as long as the money keeps going up, let's see, what's going on this month? Well, let's go back out here when the game save stops blocking me. Yeah, we're spending a lot on what? Meat. That should start slowing down, I hope, as we get that meat into those things. So we probably have to consider going around and fine-tuning the meat. Yeah, this power is really what's one of the big things. Clothes, where we don't buy many of them, they are awful expensive when we do. And yeah, look, we're back to buying food here, even though it says 0. So that's $1 million there. But the big one is we bought $7 million in meat this month. And I wouldn't get too excited because as soon as one of those trains comes in, it'll make up for it. But I'm getting a little nervous as we, you know, are only at 66 million. I know that sounds maybe crazy on your map, but it's getting to be not so much in a sense. So in any event, yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. But meat should look. Did that just stop? Look, we stopped importing meat. Now that might just be coincidence. But I will go around maybe in the beginning of the next episode or as we're getting our clothing fired up in one of these episodes and just make sure that, you know, are we getting meat to these, you know, and just make sure we're just like take a look at our meat distribution. Every once in a while, it's good to go through that expenses and do that. Now let's also, before we wrap up here, let's take a look at our population because people are curious about that. Look, 44,000 total people, 24,000 workers, only 5,000 unemployed, which I consider reasonably good. I mean, it's 20% unemployment. Probably could get that down. But I think there's some towns like, when you think about it, we have like Revergrad here, old Revergrad, really as they're not doing anything. I mean, a little bit of vodka, but I really need to get this going and get the clothing being made to justify. Like right here, if we just got this clothing going, we could probably knock that number down a lot. And then we need to shut this meat thing off. Kind of got back over to that subject, didn't I? Yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions on the grand scheme of things. And, you know, our power over here, I think I'm going to try something, and I'll let you know at the beginning of the next episode. Let's just see. Let's stop importing that power and take a look. Maybe we could just, by the time it gets done, are we doing it over here too? So we may have the next episode be, whoa, my power problems, or something along those lines. Yeah, so does that make this guy spike up? No, I mean, you would think he could run more, right? If he needed to, because he's got 19 people. Even if it's just even if I didn't test the consistency over there. See, now this guy's definitely doing higher, but you would think, yeah, see, he's getting up there, 13. And I mean, when I say that my power lines aren't perfectly distributed, they're really not bad. Oh, I'm going to do one more thing before I forget again. But let's just check this one. Yeah, let's just see. We'll keep an eye on things if they're flashing. But somebody said that I had a one-way thing, and it probably was happening during construction on the supply loop, and I didn't take a look. Antonio did tell me the time. It was Antonio said something. Look at that. Is that it? Was that am I that good? But did you see that? I don't know if you guys caught it, but this was the wrong way. Let's just march down here. I probably did it because I was electrifying this track. Yeah, so thank you, Antonio. I appreciate that. Yep, I think we're in good shape from there. Yep, so there we go. So that's what was causing some of the craziness. For those of you astute viewers that watch most minutes of all episodes, you'll know that trains were coming down here and doing weird turnaround stuff, and it was bothering me for obvious reasons. So there you go. Excellent Eagle Eye Antonio. We may have a new nickname for him, right? Eagle Eye. I assume Vulture Eye would actually probably be better. I think those vultures can see things from forever, but I don't think most people want to be called a vulture. So I'll call you Eagle Eye, Antonio. How's that sound? All right, guys. Well, like I said, let me know if you have any comments or suggestions, and know that we're doing fine. And I think, we don't really have, in some ways, that much longer to go. It'll probably still be like a month or two, but I'm almost getting sad that we're getting so done. And maybe it doesn't mean we have to end, but I may I don't know. We'll see. It's getting pretty massive. I've done everything I've wanted to on this map if I do those other things, which is at least a shot at every type of industry in a semi-proper setup, right? Like, in other words, rather than these jammed in things like this. I was going to say goodbye and now I'm talking again. Rather than like jammed in, like the power plant's kind of jammed over here, and this is kind of brick factory jammed in where I could fit it. Like, we actually have sort of proper towns where we make vodka and where we make meat, and proper setup for clothing with the town and trams and everything else, or trolleys over here, bus trolleys, trolley buses, whatever you guys call them in Europe. Right, so we get more people over here, and you get the idea. So it's just things are feeling proper. We'll clean this mess up around oil trawl. Maybe we'll get rid of this plastics over here, kind of jammed in. There's our mechanical components. This is just a trafficy mess. We can talk about the future of this steel mill, though I think we'll keep using it. I think it works out pretty well. But we also have to talk about, like, well, what would Energinisk do? Maybe we might have some other little side projects. Or maybe we keep the plastic over here. But I don't think, in other words, as we talk about getting rid of the bricks and we talk about getting rid of the mechanical components and the plastic, what are these people going to do that live in Energinisk? There's not going to be a lot of employment for that many people. So who knows? Maybe we'll think about it. Or if you guys have a suggestion, let me know. All right, guys, let's head back to Neuve Rivergrad. And in the beginning of the next episode, I guess I will be arm wrestling with a train. Sound good? All right, guys, I'll talk to you later on. Have a good one. Bye-bye.